Hey, how you doing, Ankit? I'm pretty good. Yeah, I was just looking at some of the, standard coins, it's Bitcoin, Solana, and down on like the 3 and 1 minute on Solana, it looks like there's, liquidity's bearish and looks like there's a nice target identifiable, kind of like a 1% down, not terrible, but 140 current spot is 147.75, and we have the support at 146.70. So figured that might be something worth testing out. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, it looks like we've seen this before, like the price is kind of like testing that support, but the liquidity's bearish, the candles are being painted red, and so yeah, we expect that. I think as long as the liquidity is bearish, then I expect downside, and so I think that's a reasonable play. Yeah, I think that's fair. You can give it a go for 30 minutes, see what happens. Right. Yeah, fingers crossed. Yep. Drum roll. Let's but yeah, go ahead and pop that order through. Let's see. Mm. Yeah, definitely I've done that a handful of times for sure. I think we said 3x, we should stick to 3x, yeah. Yeah. No, still honestly, things are still printing bearish, so I think it's good. What's not changing? Oh, nice. Mm, yeah. Yeah, that kind of bit us last week where but this one got filled pretty quick, pretty nice. Jeez. Right, yeah, and just, I mean, name of the game for me is just to keep an eye on liquidity, and as long as things keep being bearish. Yeah, a little bit, but honestly, both the 3 minute and the 1 minute are looking pretty bearish, which is good for us. So just kind of keep an eye out, and yeah, we can see that things are still red, and it's kind of now it's just yeah. So I guess we could do what our goal is typically like what 1%. So either win yeah, yeah, why not? Since that's our goal, you know what I mean? Yeah, because again, well, we can remember, yeah, like the downside target is that, support there, the yellow line. So kind of however far down that is, I guess. Mm. Oh, really? That's not bad. Oh, the green line, right, right. Okay. See, we got one. Yeah, the support looks like we get support at 146.73, so should be. We're still hanging on to that little bit of resistance, but things are still bearish. Just taking a moment. The- Yeah, there's looks like we're just trying to climb up on that support. But the name of the game, like the bids and the asks are going to kind of go back and forth, but the overall liquidity is you know being measured as bearish. So so as the tides come in and out, but we expect the tide to mostly be bearish at this point, just because of the how everything's being painted. So I guess yeah, we got what 30 minutes, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, for sure. Right. No, yeah, yeah. And like yeah, and I mean the fill this time is remarkably better. And so things are going in our favor. But yeah, we can see like especially on these like low time frames, like the minute, 3 minutes, we can just see kind of the ask and the bid battling. But the name of the game is follow the liquidity. So as long as it's bearish, we kind of just keep expecting it to go down. 75. It's fine. We're working. We're working through it. Mm, yeah, I think that's a fair plan. Because again, like the liquidity, things don't happen instantly in the market, and it's just a name. It's just that age old. You got to get both the timing and the direction, and the liquidity is really good at helping us with the direction. And I would a little bit of its weak spot would be like the timing, because it's you know when things are bearish, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just gonna drop to zero immediately, right? But we just keep an eye out for if liquidity starts becoming bullish, and then yeah, then that's obviously a concern, or if there's any identifiable kind of supports anywhere nearby, that becomes a concern. But here we're just bearish and slowly making our way down, slowly but surely. Mhm. It's not that far actually. Yeah, let's hope it's the ideal would be one candle and then successful trade. But like, we can see it keeps like mhm. You can if you want. It's just telling us what's happening. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly the color that is helpful, so turning it off's not the worst, but it's just telling us right now that things are moving down to the bid. But, 147.65. Yeah, it's trying. I mean, it's definitely slipping below, but it looks like the support is coming with it. But if it was bullish, we would be seeing bullish flows. So I don't know how helpful the price has already kind of moved past support, but now it's moving back up. Shake it, restart turn it off and on again. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Mm, yeah, I would say. Yeah, I mean, things are, it's just you always want everything to just kind of happen, but it seems it takes time sometimes. But yeah, we can see there we got try to get that resistance, got rejected. So it looks like we're just kind of like bouncing between those two lines, like the support, the blue line, and the resistance, the yellow line. Oh, there we go. Now we're being decisive. Break our ankles at 1.499%. Mm, yeah, we're just waiting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of the name of the game. You just kind of got to either wait for the bearish liquidity to switch over to bullish, or you just kind of sit and wait. But I will admit that support there on the 1 minute is surprisingly robust. Like, mm, yeah, it's holding on pretty tight. 147. Oh, the one, huh? Yeah, I saw that flash of green. That's what we don't want. The It complicates things because you just want things to keep printing red, 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 red. It's like, well, red if you're short, green if you're long. Um, but when you start seeing the green kind of poke through, but until it changes, it's just something to monitor, right? Little flash of green. The 3 minute is still. You can see if you move up to 3 minute, you can really see the how much work the that support is putting in. Oh yeah. Oh. So maybe another rejection coming up off 147. Yeah, I'm seeing that bullish flows on the 1 minute though. I have it on aggressive. Ooh, bullish. That's not bad. But yeah, the 3 minute. Yeah, always take always take both sides, open two positions, and then just close the one that doesn't work. No, but yeah, I mean, like it's so if you see on the 1 minute, the liquidity is switched to bullish, so we're probably gonna at least test the. So if you want to just swap the position to a long, we might. It's up to you. Yeah, let's do it. I see bullish. Yeah, look at those green candles. That's the problem. That's what we don't want, right? Like, at least like it's what we don't want if we don't want to have to like, because we again we are scalping on the minute, so the name of the game is to kind of just be on your toes and take them as they come. And so, you kind of do want a nice streak of, yeah, if we want, we could probably just switch to long. It seems like that's, I mean, you might as well go with the flows, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I'm down to hang out. Let's see. Chase. Mm, but yeah, no, let's see. Because it may just be that support, like it's coming in and providing the bid that it needs, and then, but that bid may not always be there, or may be running thin, depending on how long the the sellers want to test it. Um, yeah, because the 3 minute is still bearish, at least on the I balanced on the 3 minute. But yeah, it's just that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the if we had all day to kind of just sit here, this wouldn't even really be a concern, honestly, as long as it's, 3 minutes bearish, so we just kind of keep expecting it to go down, even if it's gonna dance in between. But with that added, but that I'm not gonna lie, that line, the arrow you drew, the path. Yeah, what do we got? Yeah, we definitely have bullish flows now on the 1 minute. What do we got in? For sure. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I would. Let's see. Yeah, I think we should swap sides. I think just it's printing bullish, so the beauty of having like that system is just that if that's what it prints, that's what it prints, right? Perfect. Yeah, yeah. Just to like swap it, and then how much time do we have left? We might be able to do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think. Okay, is that what we want to do? Because the 1 minute is, or do we want to wait? I the indecisions. It's yeah, it's like, do we wanna follow the 1 minute, which is telling us that things are looking to be a little bullish, or, do we wanna embrace that 30 minute and go, "Mm," right, until until time happens, I suppose, and then, but, mm, I'm gonna I'm my call. Alright, let's see. Honestly, let's hold it. I'm not, the 1 minute is 1 minute. It kinda just bounces. The 3 minute is still looking solidly. No, no, not close, I'm sorry. Yeah, like, we keep it, um yeah, the 3 minute. well, I haven't looked at the 5. What's that doing? I was looking at the 3 and the 3 and the 1. Let's see. And yeah, I mean, 5 minutes is looking bearish too. So, maybe the 1 minute is not the so I'm gonna erase the 1 minute from my view. Maybe I'm not that good of a scalper to do the 1 minute. I need longer times. I mean, this is kind of like the first time I'm actively scalping, to be fair. So this is kind of a fun experiment all around. Mm, mm. Yeah, it's still bearish. Still, so it's like one of those frustrating moments where the price is going up, but liquidity is still not convinced. It doesn't think that the what's happening right now is actually kind of quote unquote true bullish liquidity. So the 3 minute still keeps painted bearish. The 5 minute is still bearish. We have a little bit of a resistance, it seems, at like 148, kind of you pointed out on the 5 minute. So yeah, yeah, you see, it's like stuck. So it's like we have these multiple time frames where the price has this support and then this right below it and this resistance right above it. And mm, yeah, right, you saw that flash, so that's when it's like, ooh, maybe the support is supporting. But yeah. Hmm. Right. Right. And it could, like you said, it really honestly doesn't matter which indicator you're using. It's more, you're always gonna have these moments of I I had this view and then I entered the trade and now no matter what my indicators say, I'm gonna start having some anxiety if the position isn't like immediately green, right? Especially in these scalping situations. And I think, part of trading, especially on these time frames, is kind of just learning to sit with that and being okay with it and stewing with it a little bit, but still just kind of checking in on your indicators and whatnot and having I think it's important to have like an exit strategy and when do I just kind of grit my teeth and keep things trucking. And this definitely seems like a grit your teeth and keep things trucking kind of thing. We're just seeing the bearish liquidity. It's here. It's just taking a minute. Just taking it. It's cooking, as the kids say. It's just cooking. But I mean, it, yeah, it's crunch time now. You know, Mm, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I'll start getting like, oh crap, we're just like 5, 10% down, and I'll start getting a little confused, but or worried. So, because on the 5 minute, we said that we had that resistance up top, there's support down below. So it looks like we're testing the support now, which is about 147.65. Which is actually one, and on the 3 minute, we see it's at 147.74. Yeah, It does look like it's not having a good time getting up to that, if we were bullish, I would be looking at this and I would be concerned that every time it was trying to step up to that resistance, like, so we get those flashes of bullish liquidity, so someone is coming in and moving the price up, but it's getting to that resistance and just kind of keeps getting swatted down. So like if we were bullish, I'd be like, I don't like that. Uh, it's just that right now it looks like every time it gets swatted down, it's not quite enough to make it over that support at the 147.74. But things are still bearish, so that means things are still at least in the favor of making it through that support. So, mm, yeah, I think it's right. Yeah, and reasonable enough support to kind of be a persistent, you know, a persistent thorn in our side. But yeah, but it's working. I mean, it's slowly. I think it's like trying to grind through, break what? Oh, right. Mm, yeah, surprisingly robust actually, because we can see it's been like, but yeah, you don't see any real kind of like energy behind being able to like kind of make it all the way up to that next resistance. Just kind of bouncing along here on the support, frustratingly. So it's almost, I think, since we've entered almost flat. Are we almost flat, or did we buy 47.52? Okay, well, 0.1% better than we were. Mm, that's right. Goodbye. Right, it'd be so nice of them. We just gotta wait. They're just chewing through, it seems. 3 minutes. I guess I gotta start making some phone calls, I guess. Hey. Start making my wish list for Santa. Please let Solana drop. And now I can't write that much. My hand get tired. I mean, if we're at 30 minutes, we're at 30 minutes. That's the name of the game, is to try to. It's just kind of frustrating because we could see on the chart that it snagged on that support there, and it's just kind of. Mhm. Yep, yep. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, when you see the lines moving down, especially if they all start doing them, it means that there's a pretty like aggressive bid walking in. So you think of it as like if price, so like when price is over the line, and it's kind of bullish because the line that becomes a support. So you can think of like when we see them moving down in unison, it's sort of like the liquidity level itself is making distance from the price. So it becomes harder to do like a adverse crossover. So it would be more like as it moves down, we see that it would take a lot of additional movement to get the price back underneath LDPM, or the liquidity level, yeah. But I mean, it's so teasing. It's teasing us. It is. Mm, Mm, right. Yeah. We might. Yeah, maybe we just need to switch up the tactic for the 30-minute trades. But I think, I don't want to undersell. It is a fun challenge having the 30-minute time frame, but it is for this reason a challenge, Uh, because if we just pick the random 30 minutes in space time when Solana decides to, you know, not really move, you can't really do much about that. But I still stick by it, like it's still bearish. And so if we had longer time, then if we wanted to sit in this more, then I would just keep the short going. Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah. If we're past 30 minutes, we just wrap it up. It's the challenge. Let's check it tomorrow after the winning trade. It happens. It happens. As soon as for the next 30 minutes, they'll watch it tank 10%. Just outside our window. But actually, no, like I think, yeah, it's unfortunate because now we see that support is coming in. I don't know if yeah, look at that. Oh man, yeah, if we had another 30 minutes, I'd say this is prime. This is, we're catching this like right at the start. We're getting this we see a nice bounce off support. Bullish liquidities running supreme. Oh man, yeah, 148 on that 5 minute. We got that resistance we were looking at 148.42, and it looks like it's beelining it for that. Yeah, just like, but cool, yeah. No, I think it's best. Like it's going to be unfortunate because I think there are times when adhering to the pre-established rules and principles can definitely feel like it's hindering you and it's a loss. Um, but I think over the longer duration, it creates just these really healthy behavioral patterns, and that will then end up paying dividends in the future. So yeah, it is what it is. Maybe. Ooh. Yeah, look at Bitcoin on the 5 actually. Yeah, maybe we just, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like coin specific, but since Bitcoin does have that unique kind of leadership role. But yeah, look at that break above that resistance right there, 105, bullish liquidity. Yeah, maybe we do that then. Maybe for the future, like we stick to just Bitcoin, right? Like, and have it just that way we don't have to change the variables of changing coins around all the time. We just come in, say, hey, what's Bitcoin doing? And then, you know, mm, right, right. Mm. Yeah, I think it's good. I do like the 30-minute challenge, so I think it'd be fun to keep that because we're only going to keep getting better. I think just managing the emotions of it and just it's going to start becoming mundane. So yeah, maybe just changing up the variables of like, looking trying to find all the opportunities versus like just letting opportunities come to us. So cool, cool. Yeah, now I'm gonna watch. Yeah, easy peasy. I think we will. So